Critical role of housing in any community is stability. Owning a home, accumulating wealth in that home, having the stability of a single place to call your own sets the foundation to live the rest of your life.
You don't have to talk to too many people to find out that many of our neighbors, especially in this part of town, have experienced displacement, whether it's through home fires, landlords, kicking them out within 24 hours, gun violence. Many things have caused sort of disruption, sort of a transientness in the community. Bridge of Grace having the ability to acquire those homes, secure those homes, and then coming alongside folks who are indigenous to this area, who want to live in the Mount Vernon Park or surrounding communities, is important.
Before we even moved in this house, we were homeless. A lot of people didn't know that. And we were living with a lot of different people. And so we finally found our place, our home. We heard a lot of people arguing, a lot of people fighting, then we heard gunshots. So I remember getting in the car and driving to the corner, and I seen this guy sitting there, and I remember rolling out the window. I said, "Can you tell me what happened?" Because I wanted to make sure that me and my kids were safe in our new safe place. To my surprise, it was Pastor Javier, and he explained to me what had taken place. And I told him that, my kids and I were kind of afraid because we had just moved in the neighborhood. And he told me, like, if we need anything, just always call on him, because he was just trying to get the neighborhood together. And I remember Pastor Javier and his wife coming around the corner and asking me if I was okay. And I told them, I just lost my mom to COVID. And again, they said the same thing: if you need us, we are here. The treatment of breast cancer was hard on me. Self-esteem, just trying to live and be normal with cancer, it was hard. And again, I told Pastor Javier what's going on, because I found a friend. I found a friend and somebody I can trust. In the midst of treatment, I get a letter from my landlord. There's a letter in the mailbox saying, "You got 30 days to move." I remember Pastor Javier said, "If you ever need us, give us a call." And so I thought about it like, I don't want nobody to know what I'm going through, but I'm just like, sometimes you have to humble yourself and just ask somebody when you need something. And so I called him and I said, "Hey, I'm still in treatment. Al wants to sell the house, and me and my kids have nowhere to go. And I don't think if I had to move somewhere, I don't think I could be able to afford it, because the market is just so crazy." And so he said, "Give me a week and I'll let you know." And by that week, he had someone come over, check the house out, and they bought the house. So it was just like, me and my kids, I thought the burden was lifted off me. Like, I was just like, we don't have to move. This is our safe place. We're not homeless. And so I was grateful for that. My plans is to buy this house. I want something of my own, and something my kids can say, "Mom, you did that."
It's not just buying homes and finding someone to buy it. It's also coming alongside of them holistically and preparing them for home ownership and for sustaining that property.
Javier Mondragon is a pretty dynamic person, and he kind of drugged me kicking and screaming into the Mount Vernon neighborhood. He wanted to show me what the neighborhood was doing, what Bridge of Grace was doing, and what the church was doing with multilingual services. And I was just taken by the kind of picking yourself up from your bootstraps, the idea of people taking control of their lives. And too many times I see in society that people wait for somebody else to help them. And in this case, from Javier to the rest of the neighborhood, people are trying to make a change. And I really appreciate that. Our company has grown and prospered because we've taken control of our destiny and have done everything we can to be a success. And I saw that in Javier and in the neighborhood, and I wanted to be a part of that.
We were looking to move into Southeast Fort Wayne. We wanted to reach underserved communities. and we had never had a very good reach to these underserved sectors of our community. So my boss, Scott Glaze, our CEO, had spoken to some community leaders, Javier Mondragon being one of those, and said, I want to reach this sector of our community, and between Javier and Scott, they decided maybe we should have a manufacturing site in Southeast Fort Wayne. So we started looking, and we toured lots of buildings, and we talked to realtors, and we did everything we could to find a building, and we were kind of striking out. And I happened to be talking to Javier. He said, have you ever looked at the building down at the end of Hannah by 27? I said, I don't even know where you're talking about. So he described the building, and I said, I think that's Mr. Wiggs' building. He said, I believe it was. So started the process of us looking at this building. So we ended up buying it, and you can see we've rehabbed it and turned it into a manufacturing plant. People need good employment. People need to have hope. They need to believe their life can be better. They need to believe that hard work is going to yield something good. Those are all temporal things, but they're real things. Some of Jesus's first miracles were feeding people, taking care of their physical needs. This will do that really well. And it's a great place to work. And we're really hoping that Fort Wayne Metals can be a catalyst to make other companies look at Southeast Fort Wayne and say, this makes sense, we could do that. So ultimately, community to me means helping take care of God's children and giving them opportunities so that they can thrive.
I didn't really know what to do after graduation. It's been 2 years. So I was just in a dark place for a little bit. So it's kind of tough being alone and just thinking about what's next. And after finding out what this place, it's been helpful finding me about what's next and what's the next goal. MVP, it's been a great place for me. It totally got me out of the dark place and the shell that I was in. I enjoy the community and the work.
Honestly, I thought it was a piece of cake. You know, landscaping, cutting grass, couldn't be that much hard to do. As you go on, you progress. It's actually more than just landscaping and cutting grass. It's actually precision, focus, other things that come along with development. And it's been more than an experience here. It's been tremendous working with MVP. It's just like a family.
MVP is a really great place for them to come and feel valued and poured into by an employer, and actually find ways to raise their own equity and professional development.
I'm standing here at Brewer Park. This is a city park. It's in the middle of Mount Vernon Park neighborhood. And P in our Hope Unleashed campaign stands for progress. Progress is more about the quality of life. It's so important to have quality of life, to have better conditions where people live. You know, this has been a dream for many, many years, and for us to be able to come together as a community, because this is not just Bridge of Grace, this has been the community, right? The neighborhood association coming together to be able to go and partner with the Parks Department. It was a year. It took about a year for us to be able to come to this conclusion of what we wanted to see. And so I think that kids here, I can only imagine in the future the generations that this is going to affect. And it's just going to be a great place to live where people can feel pride of living in this community. And we just see this as another step for this neighborhood, for this community to become more healthy and to be a better community that can be replicated in other neighborhoods.
So our early education initiative is really focused on getting every kid in Southeast Fort Wayne ready for kindergarten so that they have that success in kindergarten and beyond. Kindergarten really sets the trajectory of a child's life. If a child comes in ready to learn, has all the skill and development they need, then they're ready for a great success in life. But if they come to kindergarten and they're not prepared, they start to struggle. And that struggle gets wider and wider. And that's when we see issues with achievement gap, with third grade reading scores and I-STEP scores later on.
What a child needs most to be successful is safe, stable, nurturing relationships, right? And we will be able to provide that for a child, right? They need that in their home. They need that, when they are away from home. The more safe, stable, nurturing relationships they have in their life, the better the foundation. I talk to a lot of employers about this and a lot of HR about how it can be challenging, right, for families to find this good childcare. And we talk about a lot of the workforce that they're looking for. They're looking for self-regulated. We can get there on time. We can deal with our coworkers in a mature fashion. All of those things, that all starts at the very beginning, right? That's what 0 to 5 is all about. It's really about learning how to be a person, learning how to be patient, learning how to control your emotions. So we were really building those social and emotional skills that they're going to use throughout their lifetime.
We don't have enough childcare in our community. So within our community, the 46806 zip code, we have a need for more childcare. There's currently 1,600 kids under the age of 6 who are estimated to need care, and only 950 spots available. So we need more care. But we also need more high quality spots available for our children as well. So our early education initiative is the biggest piece to Hope Unleashed. And that's because that is where we're gonna get the greatest bang for our buck, right? We know that when we invest $1 in early education, we get $7 of return. And you're never gonna get that anywhere else, right? And so we know that that's really important. And we believe that the children in our community, Mount Vernon Park, Pettit, Rudisill, and Southeast Fort Wayne, they deserve that chance to really close the opportunity gap that exists and to have their trajectory changed, their lives changed, and really see true transformational change happen.